Hey everyone, welcome back to my Mexican kitchen here in Switzerland. It's getting really cold here, by the way. By here I mean Switzerland, and it's time to really start using our ovens, warming up our houses, and a really good recipe is always a cake. So today's recipe is a chocolate marble bundt cake with a dark chocolate ganache on the top. It's super yummy. I hope you guys enjoy it. The ingredients you need for your chocolate marble bundt cake are 200 grams of butter, 300 grams of sugar, 5 room temperature eggs, 200 milliliters of milk, 400 grams of flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, a pinch of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 50 grams of cocoa powder, 2 tablespoons of milk. For the ganache, you're going to need 1 cup of heavy cream and 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate, finely chopped. Okay, so let's get started. First thing is we're going to whip our butter with our sugar. For that, we're going to use this attachment. So whip it at medium-high speed for about 5 minutes. You really want to get a lot of air in there to make it nice and creamy, so that's very important. Once you're done whipping these 2 ingredients, you're going to add your eggs slowly, one at a time. And then after that, you're going to add your milk, your flour little by little, your baking powder, and your salt. And you keep mixing. You have to switch to this attachment. You mix for about another 5 minutes. It's good that everything really integrates well. Once you're done mixing, you're going to separate your dough into 2 portions. One is going to be the chocolate portion and one is going to be the vanilla one. It's really up to you guys if you want it to be 50-50, like 50 chocolate, 50 vanilla, or if you want more of a vanilla than a chocolate or the other way around. So that's up to you guys. But for the vanilla one, you're going to just add your vanilla extract. And for the chocolate one, you're going to add your cacao powder and the 2 tablespoons of milk. You mix both well so that the ingredients integrate well, and then we'll start getting our cake done. Okay, so before going on with the next step, you guys have to preheat your oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 355 degrees Fahrenheit. Before putting our cake dough in the mold we're using, which in this case it's a bundt mold, you have to grease it up very well, especially if you're using a bundt because it has all these designs which makes the bread really stick. So what I did was I just used room temperature butter and I got nice and dirty with the butter. I really smeared it there. You can use a brush if you don't want your hands getting all greasy, but I enjoy like feeling the butter and smearing it on the mold. Or you can just use some cooking spray and just really grease up your mold so that your cake comes out easily. Once you've done that, what you're going to do is, it's a marble cake, so what you have to do is either you do layers of vanilla chocolate, or you can kind of like do an 8 in the dough. You kind of mix up your vanilla with chocolate and you can use either a butter knife or a fork or this thing from Joe's Crab Shack. Ooh, sorry guys. Anything you have if you want to make a more fancy design in your cake, but if you just want it to be a chocolate vanilla layered cake, it'll still be very nice. Once you're done doing that, you can put it in your oven for 60 minutes. Once the 60 minutes are done, you're going to do the toothpick test. So basically, you just stick a toothpick in your cake. If it comes out dry, it means it's fully cooked. If it's still a bit moist, then you have to leave it in there for an extra 5 minutes. Don't put a big amount of time after the 60 minutes, otherwise you're just going to dry up or burn your cake. So just go for lapses of 5 minutes, and if it needs another 5 minutes, another 5 minutes, but usually the 60 minutes are fine. Once you're done baking, you can put it on your counter on a cooling rack, and you're going to let it there for 15 to 20 minutes. You shouldn't take your cake out of the mold if it's hot, because it'll just crumble apart. But after 15-20 minutes, it's still a bit warm, which is good. You can take it out of the form, and then we'll do the next part. Okay, so our bundt was a success. We greased our mold properly. The cake came out fine. It looks really nice. And now the next step is we're going to make our ganache. It's super easy. It's a one ratio recipe. So whatever amount you use of heavy cream, you have to use of chocolate. In this case, the chocolate, I'm just going to put it in a little mold, or bowl, sorry. And it was chopped up super fine. That's very important so that when you pour the hot cream over it, it all melts evenly. What we're going to do is we're going to put our heavy cream in a little saucepan, and we're going to let it heat up until a very, very, very light simmer. Do not let it boil. Once it reaches the simmering point, turn it off, pour it into the chocolate, and let it rest for 2 to 3 minutes. Once the 2 or 3 minutes are gone, you can mix it either with a whisk or a fork or anything, just to make sure that it all integrates and dissolves well. And that would be it. The last part would be just to bathe your bundt with the ganache. If for some reason your chocolate didn't melt well, you can always heat it over bain-marie just quickly. Do not microwave it. It takes off the glossiness and the nice texture a ganache has. And that's why it's super important to chop up your chocolate really finely. Like that, it'll melt evenly. But that's it, so let's get working. Okay, so before I say goodbye to you guys, breads sometimes grow a bit over the size of our cake mold. So that's very easily fixed. If you want to fix it, if you don't want to fix it, you can just leave it like that. But if you want to present it in a nicer plate, all you have to do is with a cake knife, just cut it out to even it out. With those leftover breadcrumbs, you can either eat your cake, or you can make cake pops, or there's so much stuff you can do with that. And with the ganache, you may have some left over if you don't put as much as I did, or you can really coat your cake to really cover it and make it nice and glossy and beautiful. That's up to you guys. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. It's a super yummy cake, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!